When I first came into the music industry, I started out as a rapper slash producer, and I'll never forget how much I used to hate producing. In 2015, I took the longest break from producing to focus on my songwriting skills.
But now, 2020, I'm in my producer bag, baby.
Real recognize, real gang, recognize gang, and my boys don't know who you are. Might know me by name, tell people I'm fam, but you are not gang, stay far. Heavy on my mind, no. Crazy talk today, I got time, though. I don't wanna have to cross the line, cause we ain't fam and you are not my slime. About to apply the pressure to him.
So everything in this beat is real simple. When I break it down, you're gonna realize how easily this was made. Everything in this beat is just samples. I didn't play or program anything other than the bass and other like effects and the drums, and that's about it. But like the main samples in here, I didn't program them. I got them from like sample packs and stuff. So I'm gonna go through the chorus and I'm gonna break down like how the beat was made. Cause like the chorus, everything basically gets played in the chorus anyway. So once you see how the chorus was all put together, you'll realize like the structure and how it was arranged and stuff all just kind of flowed after. So the main sample that I started with was this little melody here. So that's the main melody, and to be honest, once I had that main sample, everything else just kind of followed through. I think the first thing that I started off with was the snares. Now with the snares and stuff, I like to layer my snares a lot. So yeah, you're gonna see a mazza. This is my snare. This is what my snare arrangement is looking like. So I've got these two main snares. I'll break down like what each one sounds like. So this is the main one. So that's the main snare, and then this is like the undertone snare. You don't really hear this one, but it's in there. Both of these are panned to the left. The main one, the first one that I played, that's only panned to the left a little bit, where the second one is panned like a lot more to the left. The next snare that I added on top, because I like to layer my snares and just, you know, thicken them and make them like stacked up. The way I did it is I only wanted it to come on the 2 and the 4 beat, just so like those hits are just kind of accentuated a little bit more. Yeah, so this is what it sounded like. So yeah, you know, also added that reverb on there just to make it a little bit spacious when you actually hear that 2 and 4 beat come in. And then there's another snare that only comes in on the 4 beat. It's more like a snare clap type of sound. And then I've just got like these little offbeat snares that you'll hear. I'll play these two together. So these are just basically like the in-between snares. They come in on the offbeats and stuff. When I have like offbeat snares and stuff, I like to pitch the snares to the beat, because I don't like having the snare just sound I like having it like it's gotta have some sort of variation to it, otherwise it just sounds boring and simple, and I hate boring and simple. Other things that I've added in here, I've got like a little snare roll. I mainly use this snare roll for like dancehall beats, Afro beats. I figured it worked very well like on an offbeat in the middle here. Got this little sound, it just comes in on the offbeat. So simple, so simple. It's like a little 808 rim type of sound, you know, like those old school rim sounds. Other thing that I've got on here is a cowbell. So simple, but it comes in on the offbeat as well. The last thing that I have are these little claps that go about like left and right. That is literally the whole snare section. I'll play the whole snare section just so you can hear it, like how it sounds together and stuff. I think the next thing that followed after that was the kick pattern. So I've got 2 kicks doing the exact same pattern throughout the whole thing. Real easy, real simple. And I like to layer my kicks as well sometimes, like definitely like the more like drill trap type beats, I feel like to get that real punch. Sometimes it's just like the kicks that you use, but I feel like just having like an under kick and just like accentuating certain frequencies just makes it punch a little harder. After that, I had the hi-hats. This is a hi-hat sample that I took. Real easy, real simple. And that's all it was. Underneath that, I've got this little sound as well. So simple. Like I said, everything in this beat is mainly samples. I really didn't program anything. Then I've got this little open hi-hat. It varies between 2 different notes of the hi-hat. So the shaker as well. Simple, simple, simple. And then the last thing on top, just to kind of like transition the drums into the next section, I've got this little like reverse cymbal type of sound. So simple. Now, if I play like the whole drums together, you will realize everything is so simple. So you hear how it's got that little bounce in there and stuff. That was kind of like the main vibe I was going for. I think what followed next, I was just thinking like, so what could I add on top of the main sample to thicken it? So I was just going through samples and stuff and I came across this one. That wasn't even like how the sample originally sounded. I had to kind of like chop and screw it and pitch shift it and stuff like that just to get it in the right key. So altogether, if I just play like the drums and the main sample, literally beat is done. From there, like beat's finished. Only thing that's left now is like the bass, the 808. Simple. And then I think the next thing that I added, this thing here, I added this. I'm a big Tupac fan, so if you're a big Tupac fan as well, you'll definitely know this sound. It's like a little bird chirp. It's been in a few of his songs and I sampled it, and the way that I did it is I pitched it to what I wanted, and then that was for like the first half, and then the next half was a completely different pitch. So basically it's like the key changes and stuff. So it sounds like this. And that's basically going throughout the entire song, if I'm honest with you. The next thing on top that was added was this sample here. I had to kind of like chop it a little bit just so I can get it the way that I wanted it to sound and stuff. And then underneath that sound as well, I played the main do 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 do. I played that on the keyboard underneath it just to like make it a little bit more powerful. And then the next thing that was added was this sample. It's like a little keyboard roll sample. So I pitched it to the key that I needed it in, and then I just faded it out. Real simple, real easy. I think the next thing that I added was probably the effects. The effects is real simple here. Got this effect sound. Simple transition. So that's like a drop type of sound. This sound as well. A lot of these sounds you really don't hear, but it does make a big difference. These two sounds together. So I mainly use those sounds for like a transition from the chorus into the verse. I think this was the last effect sound that I used. So those are the effects that I used. And then I think the last thing to top it off was like little vocal chants and stuff. This main one that you've got going through the chorus. Real simple. This chant. Simple hey. This chant I've used in quite a few beats. It's like one of my go-tos. I felt like that was very good for transitioning from the verse into the chorus. This next one I took from the First Lady instrumental. So simple, simple. In the second verse, I've got this little like vocal back and forth. And that is the entire beat, literally, that is now the entire beat. So when I play all of that together, that is literally it. That is the beat to Don't Know. Done.